Back in 2012, I had a situation where I was retained to work on a case where the suspect was supposedly the famous Zodiac Killer. Now, if you were walking the streets of San Francisco back in the late 1960s or early 1970s, you may have been walking the streets scared because the Zodiac Killer, the serial killer, was on the loose. I was retained by a man who thought his father was the Zodiac Killer. You may have seen the book. It was a New York Times best-selling book released in 2014 called The Most Dangerous Animal of All. My report was published in that book. Now, what was interesting, I was told by the son, my client, his mother said he saw her father write out the text on a marriage certificate. Turns out, after the book was published, and after my book, The End of the Zodiac Mystery, which talks about how I did the handwriting comparison and an examination for that case, were published, I learned it wasn't the man's father who wrote the marriage certificate. It was the preacher. Now, what's interesting is, from a bias perspective, that was my bias. I didn't believe that a mother would lie to her son about such an important issue. A mother wouldn't lie to her son where he thinks his father was this famous killer. So that was my bias. Now, interestingly enough, in the book, I talk about that the person who wrote the marriage certificate probably wrote the Zodiac letters, and I still hold to that. That's a different presentation, but I think that the father and the preacher may have worked together as the Zodiac.